I have those conversations with investors and buyers, and investors by nature, particularly I'll say newer investors. I wasn't that younger, but really just newer investors, no matter the age. They want to squeeze every they want to offer 70% ARV. They want to but if you buy a $200,000 house today, or you think about the houses that you own today and what you paid for 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you paid 10% more, 10% less, 15, 20% more in some cases, 20% less, it wouldn't matter. I mean, you're looking at a $200,000 house that's now worth 500. Would it have mattered if you paid 230?
No, that's exactly right.
So that's a good lesson. It really is that long-term piece and legacy. And speaking of legacy, you're a family man?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about your kids. I know you have 4.
Yes, sir. So I'm married. My wife and I've been married 18 years. And from September was our anniversary. We have 4 kids. So we have 3 boys that were biological kids. And it's funny, when we got married, we were told she couldn't have kids. We didn't think we'd have any. And then you've been married a couple of years, and all of a sudden she was pregnant. Well, surprise. It's definitely a surprise. Right. And then they kept coming for three boys. So.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, right. But each time it's like, well, I don't know if this will happen.
Right, God's working all the time.
He did, and it's been awesome. And so they're older. My oldest son, he's about to turn 16. I've got a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, and then 3 years ago we adopted a little girl from China. She was 5 at the time. She's 8 now. She has some special needs and things. So it changed our dynamic, in a lot of ways. But for sure, adding a girl to the mix that we didn't have. And I was telling somebody this story yesterday from here. They were asking about my kids, and I said, my biggest fear, my wife and our biggest fear, was taking anything away from our boys but we really felt like God was calling us to adoption, and we both sets of parents were like, don't do it, don't mess up your family. Like, I don't want to, but I can't ignore what I feel like the Lord's telling us to do. We got to be obedient or disobedient. We want to choose obedience, and so we did. And she's been the best thing for our boys. She's totally changed their lives. It's been amazing, because the boys, they love each other, but they're more, it's tough love. They'll fight, they'll play some, but with her, man, it's all just taking care of her. Just, she's got them wrapped around her finger,
right?
But it's so amazing to see. And even my youngest son, he was always the baby of the family. He was 8 at the time when we got her, and so he's always been the baby. Never had a chance to be a big brother, and now he's not only is he, but he's like the closest to her, and probably the most that fills that role of a caretaker. A lot of times it's really cool to see, and it'll be nice seeing their future. How that affects their lives, or maybe if they adopt at some point, or
right. Yeah, that's awesome to to say, for you to have all of this work, all of this, these doors that you're managing, all of these agents that you're training and clients that you're serving, and your own 3 kids, and that you would follow your heart and follow God's wishes and adopt. Most people would not go. They would say, oh, I don't have time, I have to put my focus here. So that's really awesome that
thank you,
that you guys did that. That's been 3 years now.
3 years, yeah.
All right. And so, and what do they do? What you mentioned soccer earlier. Is that the main sport?
None of my kids, they've got my genes, so none of them are going to be professional athletes, Anything like that. They just like to play, have fun. They probably spend way too much time playing video games. I wish they were outside more doing that stuff, but they do enjoy some sports, but I don't think they're too heavy. And my middle son, I told you, he plays basketball. He kind of fell in love with that and likes to do it now. And now he's almost getting into football. So they never played like organized football. Hey, Dad,
he's going to start now.
It's just, hey, Dad, let's go outside and throw the football. And I think back to when I was a kid, and I didn't really have that. My dad was there. He's a great dad, but we didn't ever go play football or anything. So I'm always like, no matter how tired I'm, okay, yeah.
Let's do it. Try this.
Let's do it. And he's helping me kind of rehab for my knee surgery.
Right. Out there. You didn't know. It's a win-win.
Yeah. So we'll have fun. He's like, okay, this play is this, and he'll make up. We're going to run a 76, and I'm going to go straight. You're going to throw it over my shoulder. Great. And then after a while, I'm like, wait, what was this play? I can't keep up the ball.
He's got the whole thing. He's lifting it up. He's doing the thing. Like, where'd you get these plays from?
Yeah.
Who bought you that arm sleeve? Right.
It's pretty funny, but it's something fun that we can do and connect with and enjoy. And so I don't know, we just all like being around each other. doing things.
That's cool. And it sounds like of everything that you're doing, that's your favorite thing. Is that your why? I mean,
Well,
is that the reason why what gets you up in the morning? What gets you up and gets you fired up and says, and at the end of the day says, this is why I'm doing this?
well, definitely to take care of my family. I wanna know that they see an example of what it looks like to work hard and just to take chances, because any of us that are brokers, man, we took a chance, or even as agents, joining this business, we took a risk to do this. I want to see hard work and doing these things pays off. And also with our agents, because we have relationships and we care about these people, that's a lot of my why too, is not just, doesn't have to be financially driven. I mean, that will come too, but okay, I've seen this agent succeed, or they got their first deal, or even more important, they're buying their first property, their 10th property. Man, that's so fun to see that they're winning, they're doing well, and it's changing their lives, from what they could be. I've got one girl that she's one of our top agents in the entire office. She's only been doing this about 5 years, and she's got a whole incredible story. She would be a much better podcast than me.
Listen, but this is on the title, let's talk real talent.
She got a diagnosis with cancer, and they gave her 18 months. And this was, and when I'm meeting her, it's past that 18 months, but God has just given her time, and becoming a realtor was on her bucket list. She'd always been a stay-at-home mom and doesn't have a work history, any track record to say this is someone that'll be successful. And she actually signed up with a different broker. We didn't know her. She signed up with a broker that taught the real estate courses, and she was getting no help. Just couldn't. You call her, I got a buyer. Well, I'll meet you next week. Kept blowing her off. She got a referral to come into us. Whatever you do, you got to go somewhere and get some help. So we'd love to have you. And she was so thankful. We gave her the time of day. Well, everybody in town is calling her now trying to recruit her away, but she appreciated, we gave her a chance when she didn't have anything to show for it, but she started going, and man, I'll talk to her. I got 10 closes at this. It's just running, and she got the favor of God in her life that you just see deals coming to her. But most importantly, she started investing in real estate.
Okay.
And she said, I met with my banker, and he maybe put together a financial statement. And it's just stuff that she didn't come from money. I mean, she came from really difficult circumstances. Her high school counselor told her, you don't need to graduate. You don't need a degree to work at McDonald's. That was the kind of opportunity she was given. Anyway, she meets with her banker. She said, I own several $1 million of real estate. She's like, this has changed not just my life. It's going to change my family's life and continue to change their life. Like, even when I'm gone, she's like, wow. And she gives us credit, and I'm going, you did it. We just showed you the way. I mean, she gave us way too much of the credit, so the hard work and things she done. But like, those are things that give you that drive to say, okay,
the individuals always do ultimately do the work, that whether it's sports, whether it's academic, but they have to have the right structure.
Play my games like